and welcome back to Premier League Predictions, the show which does what it says on the tin. We're here for Game Week 3 of the 23-24 Premier League season, and we're going to be predicting another round of very exciting games. Shall we just kick it right off?
Yes.
Welcome back, Harry. We are first game on the Friday then, Chelsea versus Luton, the 8 o'clock kickoff. Should be an interesting game. Chelsea enduring a difficult start to the season. They drew in their first game against Liverpool. There was a lot of optimism, but then a tricky 3-1 loss to West Ham leaves them with only 1 point from 2 matches. They'll be wanting a big win here against Luton Town, newly promoted, the underdogs in every game they play this season. They've not got a point yet. Obviously, they've only played 1 game, lost 4-1 to Brighton on the opener. Their game against Burnley was postponed because Luton don't have a ground yet. So, going to be an interesting one, of course, at the Bridge. Harry, what are your initial thoughts going into this one then?
I mean, Chelsea left a lot to be desired in that game against the Hammers. They were really poor, especially defensively. Luton, they've only played 1 game. They're not great. This should be a convincing win, especially the fact it's at home for Chelsea. 3-0 to the Blues, with goals from Nicholas Jackson getting his first goal in the Premier League. Then a goal for Enzo Fernandez from the spot, unlike what he did at the Olympic Stadium. And it'll be a third and final goal from Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, fair enough. Realistically, Chelsea should be scoring like 7 here.
Yeah.
The problem is Chelsea don't tend to beat teams ever. So I do think they'll win. I think it'll be a 2-0 Chelsea win. I will go for goals from, I was going to say Rhys James, but obviously he's injured, Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling. Sterling looked really exciting in that West Ham game. I think he'll score here. 2-0 Chelsea. I don't think they'll get a big win, though they probably should because Luton aren't a team of great quality. I do think it'll be difficult to break them down, though. Luton will be keen to try and keep a clean sheet, try and get a point on the board.
Yeah.
On to the Saturday then. The first match, the 12:30 kickoff, is Bournemouth versus Tottenham. Bournemouth, they're quite an interesting side now. Last weekend they lost to Liverpool, but I think they're playing some really good stuff. I think Anthony Areola's a fantastic coach, and I think they've recruited really, really smartly. They've got a good side, and they've got every chance of taking the game to Tottenham here. Tottenham, well, they've been the surprise package, really, of this season so far. Most people were a little dubious. I mean, you were very dubious.
I was dubious
about the appointment of Ange Postecoglou and the decision to sell Kane and not replace him yet. But they've played some really good stuff. 4 points from 2 games. They beat Manchester United at the weekend. Do you think they'll keep that good form up?
No. Very similar. I think it was a 12:30. It was Liverpool-Bournemouth last season, where Bournemouth won 1-0. I'm going to go exactly the same thing this time against Tottenham. Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 0, and it was a sole goal from Dominic Solanke.
I thought you were going to say that the Bournemouth game where they played Liverpool in match week 3, where they lost 7-0.
The one they won 1-0, it'll be a Solanke goal with 7 minutes to go.
Okay, fair enough. Very late in the match. I think Tottenham will continue winning ways with a 3-0 victory here. I think Bournemouth are very good, but their time to shine are going to come later in the season once they've got through this difficult start. I mean, Liverpool and Tottenham back to back. It's not an ideal fixture list for them. No. So I think it'll be goals from Richarlison, James Maddison, and Destiny Udogie.
Fair enough.
Exciting player. 3-0 Tottenham, away win. Up next, the first of our 3 o'clock kickoffs. It's last year's runners-up Arsenal against Fulham. Fulham, obviously, without star man, Serbian marksman Alexander Mitrovic, following his move to Al Hilal. Arsenal, no fresh injury concerns, but obviously no Gabriel Jesus for this game. However, Nketiah did look lively in the Palace game. Did he win a penalty?
He did win the penalty.
Did win the penalty, yeah. So he looks very good. Could he bag here against Fulham?
I think he will, and I think it'll be pretty convincing for the Gunners. But to annoy everyone in FPL, I think they'll also concede. I'll go 3-1 Arsenal.
You're just bitter because you don't have any Arsenal defenders.
No, that's not it. It'll be... They'll score 3 goals from Nketiah, Odegaard and Saka, but it'll be a Raul Jimenez consolation, which breaks the hearts of many FPL owners. Many
FPL owners. Fair enough. I think Arsenal have it fairly comfortable as well. I'll go 2-0 Arsenal. I think it'll be goals from Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli and Saka haven't really been involved too much. Saka had a very good first game. I believe did he get a brace in that one or just a goal? Maybe a goal and assist. I can't remember. He did well, though. And Gabriel Martinelli, well, he hasn't got a single contribution yet this season. I think this will be both their time to shine. I think they'll both score and assist each other.
All right.
And a big 2-0 win for Arsenal. I just think Fulham are a little bit shaky at the moment. And obviously, I don't trust Carlos Vinicius to lead that line.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. Next up, we have Brentford versus Crystal Palace. 2 London-based teams, but there's not really a rivalry between them. Brentford, they've looked quite good so far this season. Visser and Buemo have very much replaced the goals that they thought they'd lost with Ivan Toney obviously being suspended. They drew 2-2 in the opening match day, but then a comfortable victory over Fulham in the last game week. So a very good start to the season for them. 4 points from 2 games. Crystal Palace, they've had some difficult matches. They lost to Arsenal on Monday night, and their game before that I can't remember. Who did they play?
What, Palace in the opening day?
Yeah.
They drew to someone. Sheffield United. No, they beat Sheffield United.
They beat Sheffield United. So not too bad for Palace. And they've beaten the teams they should have. They've lost to the teams they should have. This will be an interesting one, because you'd like to think they'd be close to Brentford this season.
Yeah.
However, Brentford probably the stronger side. Who do you think will win?
I think it's going to be a very close game, and it will all be decided from the penalty spot, and it will be a Brian Buemo penalty.
Fair enough.
To win Brentford the game, but I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah, fair enough. I will go 2-0 Palace. I think it'll be goals from Emerick Yetse, and is Elise fit?
Don't know.
All right, I'll go Odson Edouard then. I saw him playing against Arsenal. But yeah, I'll go for those two to score. I just think Brentford aren't as good as people are making out, but they did play well against Tottenham. Yeah. And they did open up Fulham. But
they did.
I think Palace will beat.
Fair enough.
Up next, we've got Everton versus Wolves. 2 sides that will be staving off relegation in the latter part of this season. This is a chance to land an early blow and earn a very early 3 points. Everton, they've looked really bad. That's the only way to describe them, really. They've not really put up a fight in either of their matches so far this season, losing to Fulham on the opening day. And then, who they played last weekend? Terrible remembering the most recent weekend's fixtures. Yeah.
Villa lost 4-0.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a very not good performance. No. And then Wolves, well, they look decent in their 1-0 loss to Manchester United in game week 1. But in game week 2, they got absolutely torn apart by Brighton. They very much need a striker. Neither of the sides are really capable of scoring goals. Neither of them.
No.
Well, Wolves have won in 2 games, but they've conceded 5, and Everton haven't scored yet. So who do you think is going to...
5.
They've conceded 5. So both got terrible defences, but neither of them can score.
I'm going to go 0-0. Nothing's going to happen. Pickford's got a few saves. Is it still Sarr in goal? No. What Wolves' keeper?
It's Sarr.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he left at some point over the summer. Honestly, Wolves are such a strange club. I don't know what's going on over there. But they get a point here.
I think Wolves got the beating this Everton side. I think, as I say, they look good in that opening game against Manchester United. I think if they can channel some of that performance and actually finish some of their chances, they've got a good chance of beating Everton here, especially given the fact Everton are really bad at football. I think it'll be a 2-0 Wolves win, and goals from Pedro Neto. And this is the stumping point, isn't it, where Wolves don't have anyone capable of scoring goals. Matthias Nunes. No, he's suspended, isn't he?
Yes.
Not Matthias Nunes then. Mario Lemina will score.
Right, yeah.
Up next then, the final of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, it's Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. United haven't looked very impressive in their opening 2 games, a narrow victory against Wolves and a very disappointing defeat away at Tottenham. Yeah. Nottingham Forest, I don't think I've seen them play a game this season so far, but I'm sure they've been doing all right.
They lost 2-1 to Arsenal that day. That's pretty decent.
That's not too bad.
And then in game week 2...
they beat Sheffield United on Friday night, a 2-1 victory. So,
I forgot that game.
Not bad, but you'd think United should have the beating of them.
Yeah, and I think the big thing of United could be that Mason Mount is injured. So they might actually not play their weird, very attacking midfield that does not work. So that'll give them the advantage. I'll go 2-0 to the Red Devils with goals from... Do you know what? Varane scored their goal in the opener. I'll go for 2 other defensive goals from Lissandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. Fair
enough. I'm going to go for a tight draw. I'm going to go Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 2. I think United aren't very good defensively at the moment. Not because of their defence, but because they don't have a midfield. And what you're saying, they may throw in another player in there.
When Scott Toney's ball out.
It could be Christian Eriksen, but they may even play him as well, the 8. So I think it will be a very high-scoring affair. I think Nottingham Forest will open the scoring through Taiwo Awoniyi. Old Trafford will be fuming. They'll be chanting Glazers out as Awoniyi's knee sliding towards the corner flag. Manchester United then will score 2 through Alejandro Garnacho and Jadon Sancho off the bench around 70 minutes, and then Nottingham Forest with a late equaliser through Willy Bolly.
Right,
He's going to
love
barrel one home. Not even a header.
is.
He's going to sort of run at the ball from the corner. It's just going to go in off his chest.
Love it.
Final game of the Saturday, then the 5:30 kickoff. Brighton, they've been excellent so far, and they welcome West Ham to the Amex. Brighton obviously victorious in both their matches so far. A comfortable win over Luton, and then a comfortable win over Fulham. No. Wolves, that was it. Brighton, so yeah, very good start to the season for them. West Ham, they've had quite a decent one as well. 4 points from 2 matches, beating Chelsea and drawing with Bournemouth. This game really could go either way, but it's probably going to go to the home side. What do you think, Harry?
4-0 Brighton.
Fair enough.
And I'll put a bet on that Paquette is going to get booked. So, honestly, he's so infuriating. He's such an annoying player to watch. But so I hope they get absolutely thrashed, and they will. 4-0 Brighton, 2 from Mitoma, 1 from Asiso, and 1 from Danny Welbeck. And the Seagulls will be soaring up the Premier League table.
Fair enough. I will go... I don't think Brighton have it as comfortable as they have in recent weeks. And they've conceded every game, so I think they'll keep up that trend and win only 3-1 this time. But another fairly comfortable win for the Seagulls. I think it'll be Mitoma, Estupinian and João Pedro off the bench with the goals. And then for West Ham, I think it'll be a Lucas Paqueta penalty conceded by Adam Webster that will give them a consolation. He probably has. On to the Sunday then. We've got first up, new Premier League newcomers Burnley welcome Aston Villa to Turf Moor in Burnley's second match of the season. They lost to the champions on the opening match day and then had a game against Luton postponed. No points yet so far for Burnley. They'll be able to get something for Aston Villa. Villa, they've looked very good so far, but well, against Everton, they look terrible against Newcastle. So juxtaposing games, if they keep up that away record, Burnley are going to get a hatful today. How do you see this one panning out?
I mean, I think it'll be tighter than ever. It'll be interesting to see what Villa do. Obviously, the game in midweek against Hibernian.
Yeah.
Whether they rotate. By the things, it's going to be it was, obviously, you guys will know watching this, but at the time of recording, we don't know. It's expected to be quite a strong 11 for Villa against Hibernian, so it could be a bit rotated going into Sunday's game. Equally, there is you've got a 3-day gap there. A decent
rest period.
They might be all right. I will go 2-0 Villa with goals from Watkins and Duran off the bench again.
Fair enough. I think Villa are going to keep up their poor away form. I think it'll be a 1-0 Burnley win, courtesy of an Anas Zarore. No, he got sent off, didn't he? Yeah. Well, I keep picking players that got sent off. I will go for... Who else? You know what? That Koleosho, the youngster, I think he'll score a screamer and Burnley will win 1-0. Bit of a late goal. Sort of 85th minute.
Right.
Koleosho cuts in, bends on top corner, 1-0 Burnley. Up next, we've got other Premier League newcomers, Sheffield United. They are winless in their opening 2, and they welcome Manchester City to... Where does Sheffield United? Bramall Lane. So Jack Brabham Park, but that's not it. It's Bramall Lane. Man City have looked really good so far. That's no surprise to anyone. Comfortable wins over Burnley and Newcastle have left them second in the league so far. Sheffield United have lost both their matches to Crystal Palace and to Nottingham Forest. So their chances here don't seem very strong. Can they pull off an upset, Harry?
Yes.
Right.
1-1.
It's just not going to happen.
It is going to happen. Brown Lazy bouncing. I just fancy a punt.
Yeah, who's scoring them then?
Haaland will open the scoring for City, and then it will be a... Christ, who plays for Sheffield United? Who could score for Sheffield United? It's going to be a Gustavo Hamer world.
There we go, that's about all that can score.
To stun City. They're going to drop points in the third game week, and they're not going to win the league.
Okay. I'm going to go Manchester City 7, Sheffield United 0.
That's more likely to happen. I don't know why I think they're rubbish.
Haaland will score 5.
4.
5. Oh. And then it will be 1-4. Is Bernardo Silva still there? I think so.
Yeah.
Hasn't left yet, has he?
No.
I don't think he will now. And he signed a new contract, that was it.
Yeah.
So Bernardo Silva will score, honour his new deal, and Phil Foden has looked in good form, so I think he'll score as well. But yeah, 7-0 Manchester City.
To make up for the goals he left out last week.
Yeah, indeed. Up next, it's Newcastle versus Liverpool. This should be a cracking match. We are, of course, live for it. Join us on Sunday for that. Should be a really exciting game. We've covered all of Newcastle's matches so far this season.
Next week.
I don't know, but we're going to be watching it. But that's everything for today. Join us from 4:15 on Sunday for that one. Newcastle, they want to bounce back from that loss to Manchester City. Liverpool, 4 points from opening 2 games. They'll be hoping to keep that momentum going. But yeah, that's everything for this week. Get involved in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. We want to hear from you guys. We want to see your predictions for these games. I know some people getting involved. Yep. I love Junior, by the way. Shout out you getting involved in the comments and then going back to them and seeing. Got 2 predictions bang on as well, I believe. So very, very good week. Make sure to get your comments in. If you're listening, then head on over to the YouTube to get involved. But that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.